The statesman, and many people may not know the relationship between, the personal relationship between the former vice president and the current president. And I don't believe that people in politics, those who understand and those who have the right objective, I don't think the idea is to destroy everything. Yes, there is time to campaign, there is time to make noise, and after elections, then you begin to move on. So I believe that's the spirit that is coming up now. And you will see more of it as we go along.
Okay, as a dovetail to that, the tribunals that are going on, the vice president actually also, the former vice president actually used to say that his case is still in court.
Yeah.
But that aside, the tribunals that are going on, you're just reading the papers now about the case that will turn in somebody else's favor. As the judiciary is going since before the elections, it's like everybody's saying the last hope for the common man. What level of confidence do you express in the judiciary? I'm not talking about the tribunals.
Personally, of a very high level of confidence. That is one institution, no matter the rottenness of the society, has been able to retain some semblance of, if you will, chastity and sanity. And I do believe that the right atmosphere is created. That is one institution that will set this country more. And to extend it to the tribunals, tribunals are meant for quick judgment, but most of the members are members of the judiciary. So by extension, you are simply saying you want a quick response and a quick decision on matters that should not linger on for too long. And that is why you have the tribunal. And like I said, all the members of the tribunals are members of the judiciary. Whatever decision that comes up, first and foremost, to those of us who believe, you should know that it comes from God. If a decision is made to turn your election for whatever reason, first understand that it could not have happened without the sanction of God. But otherwise, one will say that the judiciary in this country and the third arm of government has done very well.
Now, Andy Uba, my final question, Andy Uba, coming from a party that you also come from, don't you feel you've lost somebody?
Well, sure, we lost a person.
So, but how do you?
But what you have gained by that is to understand that there is a rule of law in the country. If the Supreme Court judgment has been handed and the President has already commented that he's going to respect that judgment, and has, by his comment, I think that is something that all Nigerians should be very happy with. No matter what the outcome, no matter what the circumstances, the Supreme Court has passed its judgment, and that judgment should be implemented. But yes, as an individual, we have lost one state. That's what it means. But what it also means to most of us is that now we should be on guard, and we should now take this issue seriously. We should take our affirmation of office, we should take our constitution more serious, and understand that anything can happen along the line. So yes, we lost a person, but we gain a lot by this constitutional. For every Supreme Court judgment is an addition to democracy, particularly in the democratic dispensation.
Thank you.
Let's go to your state, sir.
Yes, sir.
Of recent, some of your colleagues raised alarm that they met an empty treasury in their state.
I also did.
Yes. What is the situation in your state, sir? The
situation in my state is that it reached an extent where I have to borrow money to pay my salary. And I saw also that it's a deep financial engineering. It's just borrowing all the time. So what we are looking for now is a lifeline, a saving lifeline for the government. And there are some ways that the federal government will come in. And that is part of the reasons why I also came to see Mr. President. And I'm happy that seeing him has solicited a meeting of all the governors for us to sit down with him and look at ways and means, not only to prop up the financial situation, but also to discuss and find a lasting solution to this kind of problem. Where did Nigerians or the law enforcement agencies or the check and balances that are there, the State Assembly, the judiciary, and the executive arm, where did things go wrong? The virtually or majority of the states have this problem. It means many of the institutions and individuals are not doing their work. If they are, there must be a due process, and everybody should know. Every Nigerian or Nigerite is entitled to know how his money is being spent. And this is reflected in the budget of a nation. And when it is not, people should be able to know. And we should let them know how to protest. And to protest is to go through the national, in the case of the Federation National Assembly, in the case of the State Assembly, to go and say, and that is the oversight function of the assemblies, to really call whoever is messing up to order and tell him this is the way to go about it. Now we believe if the checks and balances are working, we will not be where we are now.
Yeah, on that note, sir, are you going to prove your predecessor?
No, I'm going to draw the line. The only thing that I'm going to do is just to verify the amount of debt, the indebtedness of the state, because that will give me an insight as to how to solve the problem. But I will just waste my time. 8 years is not a joke. And many of the people that you even say you are put in the committee of the problem may end up being the beneficiaries of the thing. So you end up really wasting your time. But issues, maybe individual cases that could come up, we can look at them. But not to say I'm setting a probe panel for this, for the past administration, no.
So you're talking about the 8 years. What gives the condition of it? I think you talked about the 4 years.
What?
Yes, talking about the 8 years.
No, the 8 years of the last administration.
Okay.
My own predecessor served 8 years.
8 years.
If you say you want to do anything, you are looking at the whole 8 years.
So, but readers would like to know how much was declared in the handover notice.
How much as to what?
Who was handed over to you?
In terms of, maybe in terms of liability or asset.
Liabilities, they are just coming up now. Because many of the things were not properly captured. The liability.
Okay, so another question is that your bias for merit in terms of appointments,
Yes, sir.
as opposed to mediocrity,
Yes, sir.
has actually pitched you against
Yeah.
some party faithful to the state.
Because
What are you likely to expect in the coming days and months?
well, whenever there is a little misunderstanding or conflict, is that negotiation keeps up. The taxes they have adopted also is a negotiation tactics. Now, I'm saying that in terms of merit, I'm not going to compromise. I may compromise in other places. Like I've always said, there are ways to compensate party preference. But that does not necessarily mean by appointments. And I'm going to stick to that until my day of reckoning.
Okay, sir, in specific terms, what were the recommendations of your transition committee? There was a transition committee
Yes.
you set up.
In fact, when I saw the nature of the recommendations, I told them that the transition committee had not finished its job. Because at the time that they did their own, we did not have the handing over notes from the state government to be able to tally the two. They had to be very innovative by going directly to some of the sources. Some did not respond very well, but some did. So it's like a half measure. And the idea was, the major part of the recommendation is we must wait for the handing over notes of the state government. And now that they have done, we have taken it back to the transition committee. But because we are also settling down, they haven't been able to look at it, because the deputy chief servant of Niger State is also the chairman of the transition committee.
Sir, there are speculations that your relationship with the traditional rulers
Yes, sir.
is not too good. What's the true?
No. I don't. I think it's all you see, different types. Like in Hausa we say, different leaders, different styles. Sarki Goma, Zamani Goma. I guess they were used to, the people of the state were probably used to being pampered, but I am used to expecting everybody to do his job. And then what comes to him is normally as a result of the job that he's doing. But I'm not aware, in fact, of any misunderstanding with any traditional ruler. Maybe people are apprehensive of the new style and approach to issues. And if they are patient with us, they will understand that it's more to their benefit than what obtained before. I know when people are used to being spoon-fed, and then suddenly you start teaching them how to spoon-feed themselves, it becomes a problem. But I'm not aware, nobody has complained to me, and I'm not aware of in any report that indicates there is a problem. But maybe as we go along, and now I will be aware. I'm sure you have other sources of information that you got this one from. So I will pay attention to know what is happening down the road.
On that note, sir, that's all we have. Thank you very much for
I need all the assistance I can get to the people. You're on your own. The factory of the family. Yes. And you're only the head. Yes.
From the pan, this is sand filter. Now move to the factory. From the tank? Yes. Okay. From the borehole to the pan to this filter to the factory.
We have all. So it comes to the pole and the other.
The pot before moving to the ultraviolet. Now the machine.
And now it's for the white.
No, you're cleaning.
Oh, you're cleaning? Okay.
It goes to the tune here.
Okay, that's by itself.
The operation. We have two of them. It's automatic sealing.
Yeah.
And then we have the huge employment for some people. We have the huge house development.
Good. No.
Orange.
Now I know I have one industrialist that I can Government and the people. In fact, that is one of our cardinal principles, that we will encourage small-scale industry and enterprises so that people will have something to do. And I'm very happy that by, I think not design actually, it was that we were ahead of another group that we were able to come here. I just said, I said to the district head, lend me Sardauna to take us to the place. Then we came straight to it. Okay.
So in other words, we expect to see this kind of project across the state.
We will encourage it. We will encourage it.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And I did
political gathering, nor is it a gathering for enjoyment. It is a gathering for the future when our times are over. And the best is to start.
Invited first ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Enegi. My name is Aminat Mohamed Enegi, the head girl of Government Secondary School Enegi. The prayer from the students, Enegi, the land for all, the land that is located in the heart of Nupe Kingdom. Inhabited by immigrants from Kukawa in Borgu State, the land of a great man, the Bima of Enegi, the jewel in the savannah, Enegi, the great land for all, the land that accommodates all, discriminates against no one, the land that invites you to the splendor of our beauty, to the smell of our forest, to the charm of our water, to the clearness of our sky, to the clearness of our song. Enegi, the great land for all, the land with beautiful areas, names that plants means Elegi, the great land for all. Although your children are scattered all over the world, and they are drawn for all the springs of ill fortune and of glory. Your children come back to you, their hands full of plenty, and their hearts full of love. They are returned to clothe you in their dreams and their hopes. Thank you and welcome to Elegi.
She's waiting, hoping that when it is their turn.
Welcome the Chief Servant, the Executive Governor of Niger State, Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu, Talpangena, Vedati Local Government. We are grateful and particularly pleased by your physical presence to commission this project undertaken by Bida Emirate Education Forum. I also want to thank His Royal Highness, the Etsunupi Aladia Abubakar Bagadosh, and the entire Bida Emirate Council for starting this project at Elegi Government Secondary School. I believe this type of project is a step forward in the education sector. The Chief Servant, sir, since the creation of this local government, it has made some major achievements, but it is still saddled with some problems. Though it is not my intention to bother you with all the problems, but sir, this school is only secondary school, senior secondary school in the local government. However, I want to use this opportunity to request the following for the school. Accommodation, drilling of boreholes in the school, or flood of by rainstorm, electrification of the coastal energy application, provision of more boreholes across the local government area, extension of Diko Road to Guzan to mention but few. Finally, on behalf of myself and the council members of the local government, I wish to express a profound gratitude and appreciation to the Chief Servant, His Royal Highness, and other distinguished guests for sparing their time to be in our midst. I wish you a happy stay in the local government and safe journey back to thank you and God bless.
Daniel will now guide us and take us.
Bida Emirate wishes to congratulate His Excellency, the Chief Servant of Niger State, Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu, on his ascension to the highest office in the state. Your Excellency, sir, your personal attendance at today's event, even though at a very short notice, is a clear testimony to your commitment to the development of education in Niger State. The forum wishes His Excellency long life, good health, and God's guidance so that he can successfully steer the ship of the state to the desired destination. History has shown that Bida Emirate used to be in the forefront of Western education, not only in the geographic expression today referred to as Niger State, but in the whole of the former northern region. Today, we can no longer boast that we occupy that same position, as the performance of candidates from this emirate in schools continues to fall. Our school system is faced with myriad of challenges, and with the understanding that government alone cannot execute all educational programs, other concerned and willing stakeholders have to contribute towards salvaging the unpalatable situation. The former executive governor of Niger State, Engineer Abdulkadir Ekure, encouraged the formation of the Emirate Education Forum in all the emirates of the state under the leadership and guidance of the traditional rulers. We commend the efforts of the late Etsunupe, His Royal Highness Alhaji Umaru Sanda Ndayako of blessed memory, for establishing the Bida Emirate Education Forum. We also commend the current Etsunupe, His Royal Highness Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar CFR for wholeheartedly embracing this laudable and people-oriented project. Bida Emirate Education Forum was launched at the Federal Polytechnic Bida by His Royal Highness the late Etsunupe Alhaji Umaru Sanda Ndayako on July 7, 2001 at a meeting of prominent Bida indigents that exhaustively discussed the reports by renowned educationists on the pitiable situation of Western education has so far collected over 38 million of Bida Emirates through voluntary servants. The project implementation committee, the suggestion that we focus that covered all the 10 local excellencies have, with the people of Enaki spent almost 36 billion naira rehabilitating primary schools from across the Emirates. Your Excellencies, we will plead that you kindly note the modest contributions made by the Forum towards the educational development of Bida Emirates. Secondly, sir, we will want you to encourage us by redeeming the pledge which was made by the former governor to assist the Forum.
Must we talk about girl child education? Then if we have to, and we must, because it's lagging behind, after so many years of investment, after so many years of call for support, then we must refer to the speech or the inaugural speech of the chief servant, where he said he would make girl child education free. I hope it will be free in sincerity, because we've said this before. We've said it in 1984 when I, by the grace of Allah, became a commissioner. Today we're 33 years old. I mean, I left the commissionership in 1987, and we haven't been able to reach that stand. So I hope we shall under your tenure, Your Excellency. And when it becomes possible and a reality, it must be free education from top to bottom and from bottom to top. In essence, what I'm saying is that it must be with the consent of the parents, the community leaders, the important members of the community who are inside and in diaspora and everywhere. They must consent to free education, which means they must contribute the pace of development of this school. So I want it to revert back to the community with the assistance of the government and the local government.
That at the top echelon of public service, we should be the chief servants. Of course, naturally, we were legal to our jobs in this country. Everything we're talking about, development, achievements, will just be dreams that will never be realized, like the dream of Haja Amina, who over 20 years ago was promised free girl education, and she's still waiting. Unfortunately, I don't want to disagree with Haja Amina, and probably even with the governor of Niger State. It's not possible to provide free education. It's not possible. It doesn't exist. One way or the other, you have to pay for education. No matter how much you try, you have to pay for education. And I mean, parents have to pay for education. I am being global in my approach because it's very low. First of all, let me go through the protocol. See, the Deputy Governor reading the paper which he has not received. After the change of government, not through the ballot box, but through the barrel of the gun between 1900 and 1903 in this country. Agreed. President B. Manailogi was one such teacher. He was sent to Kano, from where he retired as a mathematics teacher at Rumfa College. I'll very quickly go on to report that in 1948, the colonial administration of northern Nigeria
wanda ya ban rai da lafiya muka taru a nan domin shaida kan harkokin da ya kamata mu yi, wanda ya kamata jama'a gaba daya da kowane bane a kasar nan a jihar nan da tsanin da taimaka ma gwamnati a ba lissafi na yadda muke gaba jama'a mu kore yaushe cewa ba abin da wani mahaifi ko mahaifiya zai yi ko za ta iya ba wanda ta haifa wanda ta haifa fiye da ilimi. Komi arziki da ka bar mata waɗiyarka ba ta da ilimi ko ba shi da ilimi, wannan tabbata cewa lalle ka ji a baya wannan ba zai sa ko kaɗan. amma in ɗa ya ta samu ilimi ga komi na duniya zai ya gudanar da shi yadda ya kamata. Komi na duniya kan aiki, kan ladabi da biyayya da zamantakewa da mutane, wannan dan naka wadiyar naka za ta yi gudanar da shi daidai wa daida. Wannan ya zama haƙƙi da kowane mafiya ko mahaifa ko mafiya cewa a ba da matukar goyon baya kan ilimi na yaran gaba ɗaya. Allah shi taimake mu. Fadar mu yana zuwa kasa, yaran mu yawanci ba su da ikon zuwa makaranta kuma don iyayensu sun rasa abin da ya kamata su ba su za su je su yi karatu. Wannan ya sa ilimi yana ta koma kasa, musamman nan masarautar namu. Allah da ikonsa ya ba marigayi hikima da basira aka kafa wannan forum ba aka gudanar da abin da ya kamata a gudanar. Da Allah ya kawo mu wajen lalle ya zama haƙƙi a kanmu, ba za samu ƙara ma abin da shi marigayi ba, bai kamata mu rage komai a cikinsa ba. Sabili da haka muna ba da matuƙar goyon baya ga wani al'amari, in tabbatar cewa lalle ilimi ya inganta nan jihar namu gaba da Najeriya gaba daya. Allah shi taimake mu. A lalle kuma za a yi a cikin harkan gudanar da ilimi a wannan jihar shi yana tare da kowane kungiya ne. Allah shi taimake ka gudanar da duk abin da kai da kake da niyyar da shi na alheri. Kuma za mu tunawa sheka cewa lalle muna son in kaɗan ka zauna akwai ɗan sansanta da ɗan sauki da akwai ɗan bashi wanda ake bi wannan farin wanda ya kai wajen miliyan 20. So Allah shi taimake ka gaba wannan farin wannan kuɗi kuma membobin wannan farin muna mutukar goriya cewa duk irin walon da kuke sha mutuwa Nabi Muhammadu sallallahu alaihi wasallam wai ya rayu girbin lafiya shagun jagori nan da bai da
Honorable Ahmed Musa Ibeto, the Speaker of the State Assembly, Honorable Ali Temoko, members of the State Assembly here present, the Executive Alhaji Yahya Abubakar, I thank you very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to do one of the most positive actions so far since I took over.
have heard since I came about education is the deterioration of this particularly important issue in human life. I have been told that six technical schools in the United States have lost their accreditation and that we now shamefully have to take our children to Kwara State to sit for their examinations. I've been told that all our nursing schools and midwifery have lost their accreditation, and indeed they don't even have a law backing them. I have gone around, I have seen the status of education, and that is why we decided to make it our priority, #1 subject to pay attention to. I went to Abuja to make sure that this time around, the relationship between the government of Niger State and that of the Federation is put on cordial keel. And I discovered that we have 1.2 billion naira with the UBE Commission. But what has delayed that is a matching grant that the state should raise to be able to collect that money. And inshallah, I intend to collect it in the next 2 months. If we can collect it, means we will have about 2.4 billion naira for primary and junior secondary education. And I believe that amount of money will do a lot in what we're doing. But what is very important, sir, and let me thank Professor Dania, my sister Hajia Amina, and my big brother, Al-Haji Muhammadu. But I was wondering, sir, I said, if we had given him 2 weeks notice, we would have launched a book. So I'm happy that we didn't give him the 2 weeks notice. All the issues raised here are very fundamental. Our interpretation of the girl-child free education is to say, let us reduce the discrimination that the girl child has suffered in memorial, and let us try as much as possible to encourage the girl child education. Many of us have now discovered, in fact, even among our children, that the girl child takes care of her parents more. She is a better pension payer than the male child. If you see the male child doing that, it is because he is full. The pocket is so full. But believe me, the girl child, whatever they eat in her husband's house, even if it means stealing it, she will bring it to her parents. So we need to encourage her to do that. So I'm very happy to be here. I've heard the pledges. In fact, I didn't know about the BIDA one. I thought it was the Mina one. Mina was 25 million and BIDA 20 million. And what we intended to do, and let me announce it here, the Education Forum or Education Foundation is very, very cardinal to our achievements in educational areas. What we want to do is to give a matching grant every year to every emirate. Whatever you are able to raise, we will give a matching grant between 50 to 100% of what a forum or a foundation of this nature is able to raise. Why do we want to do that? Because you have seen the little drama here about the one who is waiting for government to help and about the one who is willing to assist himself. Like we say, so we believe that the participation, sir, of the parents, the traditional rulers, and the community leaders is very, very paramount in our trying to raise the educational standards of our community. So even coming here, believe me, one child out there has been inspired. Our gathering here has inspired the community to be able to do more. And we believe that we should encourage any community that is able to do that. And we thank Enegi community for the initial innovation and initiative of building a community school. Indeed, we will continue to encourage doing that. Let me seize the opportunity of being here too, to talk, sir, about politics. Politics should not be left to the politicians. Politics is about our whole life. The elites must come back to the fold and take charge. Do not leave those who should not be near governors to take over the leadership of the state. There are many of us who feel that all that politics entails is taking government's money. There are those who sense fear in the minds of those who have no faith in Allah. They think that by their fetish activities, people must follow them. And I said no. If you want to join us, come and contribute to our quota and expect nothing from government directly. We know for the next 6 months there, because of the few corrective measures that we will have to take by our own understanding of what governance is all about. We may not be the most popular people, but we are ready to face the challenge and believe in God. With these few remarks, sir, I'm willing and able to commission this important project, to me very dear to my heart, sir. Thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. I, Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu, very happy to commission this project and to further encourage the BIDA Emirate Education Forum, which is a good acronym because this is very important in man's life. Thank you very much. When we went to UBE, they showed it to us, and you can see the logo at the UNICEF here or and then this one, So we have so many rubber factories in Niger State, and you can see it's very durable and movable. And unlike the wood one, that they can hardly move it around. And like I said, to avoid people taking it to parties or something, you pin it down to the smash. So we will get 2,000 people. They have already given to Niger State. The idea is as we go along now, we change it instead of the wood one. And that will save our trees. And I thank you very much. And that's sitting on the floor.
That's what I'm saying.
The other matters we are going to post is standard.
Even when you make what you call a tool chair,